Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Roll the Dice with Dave. So glad you can join us. Just want to welcome everybody that's out there on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. Also, everybody that is out there on my YouTube channel, Roll the Dice with Dave, welcome, and thank you so much for tuning in. As we get ready to move to the show, I just want to invite everybody to Roll the Dice with Dave on Facebook, and also look at subscribing on YouTube. Also, please share. Roll the Dice with Dave. We're trying to be the change we want to see in the world, and we want to get as many people involved on this adventure as we possibly can. Throughout the broadcast tonight, if you feel so inclined, please don't forget to use the hashtag Roll the Dice with Dave. Also, if you catch it on a replay, please try to use the hashtag replay, just trying to get a feeling for who's commenting, what you're commenting on, to try and make it a little bit easier for people to find content as easy as they possibly can. If you are interested in being on Roll the Dice with Dave, or if you are interested in having a certain topic of discussion brought up, please feel free to email me at rolldedicewithdave@gmail.com. Also, feel free to comment on the broadcast and say, hey, I want to see you guys talk about this topic, or hey, Dave, I would love for you to talk about this topic, or just let me know, hey, I want to go ahead and be on the show. Also want to say, hey, I heard one of my buddies back in Greenville, Trey Knox. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Much love to Greenville, North Carolina. Also, I want to remind everybody we're coming towards the tail end of Hispanic Heritage Month. And the reason I brought this up is because we have two amazing Latinas on the show tonight who are doing amazing things. And I feel that within the next 15 to 20 years, when we come back and look at Hispanic Heritage Month, these two will be mentioned and remembered as not just role models to women all over the world, or to Latina women all over the world, but to people in general as, hey, this is the right way to live life and pursue your dreams. Also want to give a big thank you to all the support I've had over the last month and a half. I really do appreciate everybody that has tuned in. This show is based on the idea of being as diverse as we possibly can and being inclusive, exploring different cultures and doing it equally. And I couldn't do that without your support. So thank you all very much. I truly appreciate you. So now we're about to get in the show. I'm really excited about today's show. It's one I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and was finally able to get all the pieces together. So I am going to bring on the panelists one by one. So first, I want to go ahead and introduce or bring on Jenny. Jenny, if you don't mind just telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. First and foremost, I am a busy wife, mom of three. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, currently a virtual homeschool teacher, and growing a CBD business. So we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, in a little bit, but that's it.
All right. Next, I want to bring out Lindsay Clapp. Lindsay, if you don't mind telling everybody just a little bit about yourself.
Hey, so I actually live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am married to an amazing husband and who is very supportive. I have a son who just turned 4 and a little baby girl who'll be 1 in November. I work full-time as an event manager at Centrifuge Media, and I'm also a consultant for Road and Fields. So busy mom.
So I gotta throw this out there before I bring on my next two guests. So both of you were students in my classes at East Carolina, so I just want to give a big shout out to the Pirate Nation. This just goes to show, once a pirate, always a pirate. Much love to you. Thank you both for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Next, I want to go ahead and bring on my sis, Cindy. If you can go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this. I love this idea. I love that you have all of these amazing women on your show. Thank you for that. So I am Cindy. I am a wife and mama of 4. I have 3 adult children and 1 sweet 10-year-old. I homeschool. I manage my youngest acting career. I'm a real estate investor along with my husband. And I am a senior sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics.
Thank you so much. I tell you, when I hear you say all that stuff, I feel like such a lazy bum. It's like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a professor. Right. So thank you so much for being on the show. This is awesome. So, and last but not least, my other sis, Josiah, could you please tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I am a garnet bleeding gamecock married to a Clemson Tiger. Don't know how that works out.
Opposites attract, I guess, right? Opposites attract.
I have 3 beautiful babies, nearly 12, 5, and 3-year-old. And I am a clean beauty educator and advocator with Beauty Counter.
Well, thank you so much. And one of the things I want to do, and each of you just gave a little introduction on yourselves. One question I have for you, and this will lead more into us getting to know a little bit about you before we get to know a little bit about what you do as far as from a business standpoint. But do each of you mind just telling me a little bit about your role models? And I want to go ahead and start with Lindsay. Who were some of your biggest role models growing up?
That's kind of a tough one, but if I had to choose, I would say actually my father. He was my first boss, and he instilled my work ethics that I carry with me today. He kind of growing up, and still to this day, I would ask him for advice, and he would give me options, but he would never tell me what to do or which route I should go. He's this way, teaching me life values. He gives me guidance. Even in college, I would say, "Hey, Dad, what do you think about this? Should I do this or this?" And he's like, "It's your life. Here's the outcomes. Here's the choices. It's up to you." And I'm like, "Come on, Dad, just tell me what to do." And he's like, "I'm not going to." He's like, "I can't make that choice for you." So still to this day, I would say probably my father, because I look up to him and how he's become as a man. And he made me look for a husband that he instilled values for, I guess, of what I wanted a father or a husband to be that I had in my father. So I would choose him.
I could attest to that because, Dave, I remember the first time I met him and I was like, man, this is a really good guy. I was really excited for you when you guys met, and he just looks like such a great husband and a great father. Mm-hmm. I'm really happy for you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
So next, I want to go ahead and go to Josiah. Josiah, who were some of your role models growing up?
I would have to go with my mom. And maybe it's in the fashion of mompreneurs, but I just feel like I constantly find myself going like, how did you do it all? How did the laundry was always folded. I am a 100% like chaos mom. Like I work in chaos, and I'm like, it's fine. We're just gonna keep the train moving. And like, it just always felt so calm and peaceful. And she just always had it together. And she was always so positive and encouraging. And like, if you have a heart for it, if you're a dreamer, like follow that dream. There was never a no. And I always think I want to instill that in my kids too. Like, you can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. Go for it. Dream big. Shoot for the moon. Like all those things. I always just like hear her, even after I've had a big blow up at my kids, I'm like, I love you. You're so beautiful. You're so smart. You're so brave. You're like all the positive. So.
And it's funny you mentioned that because it takes me back to the summers where DJ was in the house. I was in the house. My brother was in the house. You and Bebe are in the house. Your dad, who I love, but at times, your dad, right? And your mom, and your mom was the calm in the eye of the storm. I mean, it was the craziest thing. And talk about shirts full, ironed and full. Everything was always perfect. And I don't know how she did it that summer because everybody was just in that house. I mean, it was absolute chaos. Cindy was always over at the house. It was chaos all the time. But she was such a calming force. Cindy, can you tell us a little bit about your role models?
Absolutely. So I think I have 2 because I think these women, so the first one would be my Aunt Alva. And I think what I got from her was just this incredible work ethic, right? But everywhere she went, like she went high level with her things, but it was always through loving people hard. Never, she led a lot of people in a big team, and it was never with an iron fist. it was truly just through love. You would ask her how she was doing. She was a single mom running everything, her business, like her work, her children, her house. How are you? Sensational. You never got anything else. She always saw the positive in things. And so on a daily, I mean, it's funny because I was just talking to my husband, Jamie, about this today, is that, you know, even when I'm like the baby, so today I was up at 4 a.m. because she had a fever and like the laundry had to get done and all of my plans went, you know, y'all know, tumbling down. You know what I said to him? I get to do this. I get to be here with her. I get to fold the laundry. I get to sit down with you. I get to do these things. And that's the attitude that my aunt had. And then the second I would have to say is my older sister. And I'm sorry, I'm just, you know, thinking women in my life. My older sister is the complete opposite of that. So she has a bad, can I say a bad word?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, might as well, right? Yeah.
Bad. Like when I tell you she is so amazing, like she, her work ethic is incredible, but you know, and yes, she has a positive attitude, but she is tell it how it is, tell it up front. She's not sugarcoating anything. And that's just what it is. Like the truth is the truth. That's it. And so I think when I combined both of those, I got the little bit of sweet and sour in just the right, right? Now, and I will say, those were my role models, and those were the women who inspired me to, and honestly, who I borrowed courage from to even step out in faith to start my business. But I think my biggest cheerleaders, I would have to say, were my husband, Jamie, my brother, Dave, and my other brother, Damien. The men in my life are insane. They are so insanely supportive. I can't even tell you. So I know that was more than what you asked. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. And it's funny because, you know, you mentioned Leslie and, you know, we're all so happy for her, but she's so far away, right? So she's all the way out in the West Coast. But you mentioned some of her characteristics. She reminds me so much of Titi Elsa, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, that fire, but yeah. So I want to move into the next question. And it's a question I've been asking all my guests because I feel it just helps us get an idea of how you feel that you're viewed. Jenny, I didn't forget about you. Your role models.
I'll keep it short. I know we're trying to keep the train rolling. I would definitely say my parents. You know, they were definitely pillars in the community. My dad moved away from home at a young age and just grew an incredible business in the corporate world, and you know, lots of great contacts, and worked really hard and kind of set that bar as far as work ethic and pushed us to do more and be more and just go after it. Never told us no when we really wanted to do something, encouraged us to try different things, including going out of state to ECU, which being originally from Maryland. And, you know, my mom, super involved in the community. Obviously, you got to know them a little bit when I was in college. But yeah, definitely my parents. So anyway.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to know your mom really good over a 10-minute phone call in the middle of class.
In the middle of class.
So I want to stick with you, Jenny. If you can use, and I remember I've already asked you this once, but I want you to think about it again. 3 words that you feel people who know you, how they would describe you.
I would say passionate, or also persistent, kind of the same thing. Very driven and supportive and positive, you know, a supportive, positive figure. Okay.
And next I want to move to Josiah. 3 words that other people would use to describe you.
Maybe it's the Latino, but loud.
That's it.
Creative. And then like a rosy or positive outlook on life.
Okay. Cindy, 3 words that people would use to describe you.
I would say an encourager, for sure. I would say an impactor, right? Like, don't we all want to impact the room that we're in? And then I think an impactor, I mean, like as a positive force. And then I think hospitable.
I would agree with that because my boys and I talk about going to your house all the time and how much we love that we felt home whenever we came. So I would definitely go with that. And Lindsay, 3 words that people would use to describe you.
I would say loyal. I've always been loyal to family and friends. Dedicated to any task or to any achievement that I want to accomplish, and dependable. If you need me to do something or you call on me and I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be dependable. So loyal and dedicated and dependable. So.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And I want to say this. All of you are inspirational, definitely, no doubt. And knowing 2 of you my entire life, and then now 2 of you, it's crazy that Jenny, how long have we known each other? What, 14 years now? 15 years?
At least. I think I was 17. I'll be 36 this year.
Oh,
37.
golly, man, that's crazy. So, and Lindsay, you got to ECU when, 2007?
2005.
Oh man, so 15 years. So
yeah.
Knowing both of you for a long period of time, and then following your lives and your careers, you're very inspirational, all of you. Very passionate. I will say that is a universal word I can use with all of you. All of you are very passionate and driven in what you do. And the last one, and I hope other people do realize this, that it's more than a word. It's actually a phrase. You are role models to us all. I look at different things that each one of you have done, and I go, man, I hope I can do it at that level. There's certain things that each one of you have done that I just sit there and was like, man, I wish I could do it at that level. All things. And I know that's impossible because we have different things in life where at times we can do better than others. But every time I see each one of you doing something, you make it look easy. So other people, no, you do. And other people look at it and go, oh, I can do that. And then they have that, oh crap moment. And it's like, oh, I can't do that. It's not that easy. So you ladies are just amazing, inspiring, awesome. I love you all very, very much. So with all of this that we've talked about, I want to get to this next piece because a lot of times, especially now with COVID, and there's just so much things. I've heard each of you talking about, hey, I'm working, I'm a mom, I'm taking care of the house, and I'm also a teacher, right? So now you're teaching your kids at home. What do you do to decompress? What do you do to decompress? So Josiah, I'll go ahead and start with you. What do you do to decompress?
Long, hot baths.
I knew it.
The work, sugar scrub, face mask, like it looks like a Lifetime movie bubble bath. That's a good decompress.
Okay. Let's go with Cindy. What do you do to decompress?
So this is going to sound really weird, but being a mama of much older, like adults, my oldest is 25. I have 25, 24, 21, and then 10. I have a little, like, I feel like I have just, but you're close, Dave. I feel like I have a little different lens on what's, on the other side of what you guys are looking for.
Yeah.
that season.
Show us the light.
I'm just kidding. I'll be honest with you. The thing that I like to do to decompress, I am happiest when I'm just snuggled up on the couch with my husband and my baby girl. I swear, everything else could be falling down around me. I'm perfectly fine just right there. So just kind of relaxing with my family is my favorite.
That's awesome. That is such a good thing. We'll go with Jenny. What do you do to decompress?
That, what you just said, sounds amazing. Snuggled up on the couch, watching a movie, usually with the kids.
Usually wine.
Yeah, exactly. And we love to go on the boat. I don't know why I love that. Just the salt. We live right at the ocean, so going out on the water and just salt air, I don't know, it just helps me clear my mind. I love, whether the kids are there or not, I love being out on the water.
And I also want to add, I saw, was it for Michael's birthday, you guys went camping?
Salt cave, yeah.
That was
I
so
thought you
cool.
meant the salt cave. I was like, I like that too.
Man, look, it's just salt cave, camping, you're doing it all. No, that's awesome.
That sounds very stressful to me.
Yeah, I'm not a camper.
Definitely living your best
on my list for decompressing.
That is so awesome. Lindsay, what do you do to decompress?
Well, kind of what Cindy said, now that I think about it, we dedicated Friday nights to be family movie nights. So no matter what the situation is, we kind of we'll sit down, even if it's a TV show, because he's 4 and then we have an infant. But we do start doing that on Friday nights now, whether it's a TV show or just something before bedtime, just to kind of all sit on the sofa and cuddle up and just be with one another. But, outside of that, me personally, because sometimes, you need the mama time. You need just to get away and decompress, like you said. But I really enjoy actually like painting or doing some kind of crafting. That's relaxing to me. And then outside of the relaxation, working out, it's more of a stress reliever. It makes me put everything on the back burner. So if I've been stressed, I had a hard day, just getting outside, either running, walking, doing some kind of workout, that kind of helps decompress my brain, I guess you would say, of everything going on.
So if you have Disney Plus, Mr. Holland's Opus is now on Disney Plus. I don't know if you've seen it or not. Great. And it's just a great family movie. I love it. Okay. I've literally been waiting for like 6 months for Disney to finally release that bad boy. So check it out. Make a great family movie night. Okay. I want to transition now a little bit to talk about some of the other aspects of your life. So I want to give each of you an opportunity to answer this question. What is your business? And how long have you been involved with growing this business? And I want to go ahead and start with Lindsay. We'll go ahead and start with Lindsay this time.
All right. So I am actually a consultant for Roden & Fields. And I started the consultant business back in, February of 2019. So fairly recently, I started the actual business side of it. But I've always have tried the products, used the products on a daily basis. And if someone who's not familiar with Roden & Fields, it's a skincare company created by the same dermatologist who created Proactive. So it's a great company. They gear towards teens, young adults, older adults, men, women. It doesn't discriminate against anybody. So it's a great company. And they have phenomenal customer service, which is one thing that I look for, because I value, when I go places, the customer service that I receive, if I was to go to a restaurant, to a store, but they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you try the product, you don't like it, it doesn't work, you can return the product, empty, fully used, whatever, you get your money back within 60 days. So it's a really great company, and I value the customer service that they have. And I've also seen the results and what it's done for myself, and I just really take pride in it. So I sell Roden & Fields.
Cool. Thank you so much for that. Next, I want to go ahead and go to Josiah. Josiah, can you tell us a little bit about the business that you're involved in, and how long have you been involved with your growing business?
Yeah, so I am an educator and advocator with Beauty Counter. It's also a skincare line. It's a mission-based, where we want to get safer products into the hands of everyone. The more they do research with long-term chemical exposure, they're seeing that's why there's rises in infertility rates and cancer and breast cancer, eczema, all these things that are showing up in kids, gluten allergies. And so I love that it's a mission-based company. I never saw myself in a position of selling anything, but this just called to my heart of like wanting to be a protector. And they go to DC and advocate for safer regulations in the beauty industry. And that's not just like with women's care, that's your shampoo, your deodorant, your toothpaste, anything that you're putting on or in your body. So they call to my passionate, want to do better, change the world outlook.
Okay, thank you so much. Next, I'm going to go with Jenny. Let's go ahead and get Jenny in here. There we go. Jenny, can you tell us a little bit about the business you're involved with, and how long have you been involved with growing your business?
Yeah. So I've been a part of the direct sales or network marketing industry for about 5 years now. And I've actually been with one of the companies mentioned. So I can say that we have some commonalities here, and also use some of the products from the others that are mentioned too. So shout out to you guys that are out there sharing products that you're passionate about. I love that. So I actually partnered with a new company in February of 2019 called Green Compass, and we are a CBD company out of Wilmington, North Carolina. we started with the mission to help people feel better. A dear friend of mine who struggled after she had her second child, she didn't feel like herself, decided to try CBD, and her family saw a difference in her. And once, she started looking into what the product was that she was using and what the other benefits, and she wanted to give it to her kids, she started seeing kind of the absence of regulations out there with CBD and how dangerous it was. So it really kind of made her scared about even taking what she had found relief from. So they started their own CBD company with their connections to farming and agriculture. And they have launched an incredible business and just helping people feel better from the inside out. It's really kind of set my soul on fire. I mean, I can't tell you enough good things. And I know some of the comments are rolling in. It has helped so many people. And just to see the testimonials that are driving this company, it's been such a blessing to be a part of, to help share that with people. And then to be financially compensated for it, it almost feels like illegal. I mean, I know that's a loaded question when it comes to CBD. Everyone's like, is it legal? I'm like, yes, it's legal in all states. But I love what I do. And it's been a really incredible journey, and it's not even been 2 years. So yeah, CBD, Green Compass. It's an amazing company. Check it out.
And I could attest, because I actually use Green Compass CBD, and it's helped with my reconstructed left knee and just aches and pains in my arms and shoulders from playing baseball for most of my life. So I can definitely attest to that. And now jumping over to, let me get Cindy back in there. There we go. Cindy, can you please tell us a little bit about, I guess, your business says with an S on the end of it, and how long have you been growing your businesses?
Okay, well, so the first one, investments, right? Real estate investing. My husband and I have been just kind of dabbling in that for the last 3 years. We kind of went back and forth with it for a few years. But it's scary, y'all. When you see the numbers, it's scary. And finally, we just said, you know what? We're going to just jump in with both feet. We're just going to jump in. And I'm so glad that we did. If you have an opportunity to get into real estate investments, that is definitely the way to go. The first purchase was a kind of a safe purchase. We did a cabin in the mountains, and it has been extremely successful. If you've tried to book my cabin, it's completely booked through the rest of the year. So, I mean, it's just been wonderful. And then, after that, we just started purchasing smaller things and dabbling a little bit in that. But I have loved it because my creative designs, side, I get to do whatever I want in that space, which is that's the fun part to me. The numbers, my husband deals a lot with that because I get frustrated. But so going into managing my daughter's acting career, that's something she's been doing since she was 4. She's 10 now. It has been wonderful. We, travel all over the place. We started homeschooling. I was homeschooling her preschool. So I didn't start homeschooling because she was acting and modeling, but it just kind of like, it was amazing that it all just worked out that way. And it has truly been a blessing for both of us. It's been a journey that I think has grown our relationship in ways that I never imagined it could have. Yes, Kathy, we do need to help in Augustine. Yes. That might be next. If Jamie's listening, that day we need to, that's next on the list. But that has been an incredible journey that has grown our relationship in ways that I could have never imagined. And then, of course, I'm homeschooling her, but aren't we all right now? But I am a senior sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. I have been in direct sales for 2 years. Well, it'll be 2 years at the end of this month. I started using the skincare, and we do skincare and makeup, and we do, perfume and things like that. But I fell in love with the skincare because when I was traveling with Elin, y'all, when you travel, you eat like crap. You just eat horribly, and then it starts to show up on your skin. And I just remember coming home. We had been on set in New York for 3 months. And I remember coming home and looking at my face in the mirror and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even recognize this girl. And so I called a girlfriend of mine whom I knew was doing this. And I said, girl, I just need to try something. And she said, I'll be right over. It was pouring rain and she came over with her newborn baby. And I just started using the product, fell in love with them and said, you know what? I think I want to do this. I love what it did for me. I want to do this with other women. I love, fellowshipping with people. So I just jumped right in. And if you know me, I go fast and hard at anything that I do. So that's what it was.
And I could attest to that because I've seen how you go there. So each one of you has told a great story of this is what we do, this is the business. But I want to talk about some things because I think it's important that people realize it's not all sunshines and rainbows, right? So there's not always great stuff. So if each one of you can maybe, take about a minute or so and just let me know what has been the toughest part of starting your own business. So I want to go ahead and I'll start with Jenny this time. Jenny, what was the toughest part of making that jump and starting with Green Compass Global?
I think for me, one of the biggest things was I was already a part of another company. So, I really found kind of my feet there and honestly thought I would never participate in another company because I loved what I did so much. But just kind of being open to new opportunities and then thinking about what it could do for others. And then, pushing yourself, stepping outside of your comfort zone. You guys all know that do what I do. It's a personal development business. If you want to make more, you need to really work on yourself and become more. So really digging your heels in when it comes to personal development. Also at the level that we've gotten involved as presidential founders for the company, we're doing a lot of public speaking, which is not my jam. So, even things like this, I'm sweating, all the things just being real with you guys, I was not ready for that. So that was definitely something we had to learn and grow. And, I'm excited to get back out there at this point though. Now I'm itching to get back out there and see my people, but, just really taking a leap of faith, stepping outside of your comfort zone and not worrying about the judgment of, going to a new opportunity or trying something new because, you kind of look at it, the corporate world, people make changes, people change careers and get promoted and go to different companies. So that's no different than this industry. So I'm so thankful I did. I can't imagine having said no to this. So I think that's the biggest one.
Thank you so much for that. Josiah, What was the toughest thing about you taking this leap and starting your own business?
I think Jenny did a really good job of nailing it on the head. It was okay, I'm going to take you back to high school. I was not Miss Popular, but I was marching to my own drum. I didn't care. I was cool. I'm doing what I'm doing, and it worked for me. But this was you on display, putting it all out there. You could flop, you could be a failure as a grown adult. What if so-and-so sees me fail at this? It really was a mindset and growth. That was the hardest thing, getting over your own insecurities and fears as a grown adult. And I didn't, my mom had really done a good job of being you're so beautiful, you're so smart, so I was in high school, yeah. And then all of a sudden I was can I do this? So yeah, there was a big stage of just get over yourself, just hit record, just do the goofy makeup, just do it. Who cares what the haters are gonna say? You do you and you'll be happy. So that was it.
And it's funny you said that you could usually tell your most successful people by the increase in the number of haters they get. So the more successful people get, it seems, especially in this day and age. That's the best way I can put it. That the more successful and the more enriching people's lives seem to become, it seems like other people just hate them more and more. So Josiah,
dogs don't bark at parked cars.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
That's
true.
what I say.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to yoke that one. I like that one. Dogs don't bark at parked cars. Cindy, what was the toughest thing for you getting into starting your own businesses with an S? I'm gonna go ahead and use the S with you because you have several outlets. But what was the toughest thing? Let's maybe look at the first one that you went after. What was the toughest thing about making that jump?
Honestly, across the board, I would say that the best thing, and I think this is even what Jenny and Josiah are even saying, is just starting, right? Like just the yes, just coming to a place in your head, the resolve and the decision that this is what you're going to do. Because I always say a decided heart is the most powerful thing. And once you can decide and start, the rest is cake. Yeah, there's going to be hurdles and you're going to have to work and you're going to have to grow. But honestly, just saying the yes, whether it was buying our first real estate investment, whether it was starting my Mary Kay business, whether it was homeschooling, whether it was whatever it was, I think across the board, the hardest part was starting. And so for me, I'm really thankful that I have people in my life that I was able to borrow 5 seconds of courage from, to be able to jump in, whether it was terrified, whether it was closing my eyes, my ears, whatever, but just jumping in and then realizing, oh, wait, I actually have support here. This actually feels really good. I'm actually learning something. Oh my goodness. Now I'm teaching someone else something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to have it all figured out. I can just be a couple of steps ahead and I can lead people. Wow. It was starting, just the starting.
That's awesome. And Lindsay, I don't think we got to you yet.
No.
What was the toughest thing about making that jump and starting your business?
Kind of like what all the other ladies have said already. It's the saying the yes. I've tried the products before and, my best friend was like, come on, you're great at this. You can do this and you love the products. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a salesperson. I've never been in sales. I don't like to reach out to people. I'm not a salesperson. She's like, but you're not selling the product. You are selling the results that you've received. Like you're great at telling people of, this works for me and this can work for you. And pretty much gaining the confidence that I needed to reach out and to connect with people, which has been wonderful now because I've been able to connect with people that back from middle school and high school that I haven't talked to in years. And now we're talking every day or every other day. But I'm also not the type of person that is all over social media, wants my personal life out there. But being able to help somebody and get the results that they want and build the confidence, it's definitely been challenging. I've only, almost 2 years in, I guess you would say, but really taking that step to say, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can better my family. Yes, I can help other people. Why not? And just taking that leap of faith and moving forward with it. And it's been very beneficial to our family. So, it's been tough, but what part of life is not tough?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wrote
yeah,
a completely different answer. I guess Jenny just got me on another kick, but I think part of that is investing in myself, like the mom guilt. Like if I'm doing this, what am I missing out on, or what am I like? And I don't feel that way now that I'm in it, but I think a lot of that was like, am I allowed to take me? Am I allowed to go and have a party with makeup and have fun and socialize with other women and pour into other women while this other stuff is going on?
mm-hmm.
Well, and it's funny you touch on that because that's one of the things I was going to mention, that if I was sitting here with 4 male entrepreneurs, I don't think the conversation comes up of, if I do this, am I going to be judged, right? And a lot of women are judged when they try to move their careers or their lives in a certain direction, even if it's for the betterment of the family. So you touched on that, where if I had, let's say, your husbands and they were doing all this stuff, everybody's like, man, that's awesome. He's sacrificing family time to try and do better things for the family. But the moment a woman does it, it's like, man,
honestly,
she's got young kids. Yeah, right. It's
Like,
crazy.
you need to spend more time here. Why aren't you there? And yeah.
What was that, Cindy? I'm sorry. I got what you said, Lindsay.
Yeah, no, I was saying that what you were just saying, they wouldn't even be saying that because it's never even
It's not a thought.
it's not even a question. It's not a thought. It's just what you do.
Yeah, and it's crazy, the privilege, right? So, I'm sitting here and I acknowledge that as a man, when it comes to my career, I can be at work till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and there's nobody that's ever going to question if I miss a ball game or if I get home late and everybody's asleep, miss bad time. But the moment a mom does it, it is it's seen as she's sacrificing the family bond for herself, and she's being very, very selfish. So one of the things that I do want to add, I've met all of your husbands. Some I know your husbands much better than others. And they are all so supportive of what you do. That's something that's very evident that I can see. And I think that's awesome and great. And I think that's one consistent. I don't want to seem like I'm just bashing dudes. And so if we flipped it, right, with men's success, they always say there's a successful man behind him is a successful woman. And what I think is cool here is that the men are behind you and giving you your chance to shine, which is well deserved. And not only are you taking advantage of it, but you are shining a light on not just for women to look at, but for everybody, like I mentioned earlier. So I tip my hat to all you ladies, because that is not an easy thing to make that decision. Because like I said, there are a lot of judgmental, there are a lot of haters, and it's easy for people to judge moms for trying to do these kinds of things.
Oh yeah.
It is makeup, right?
Well, and I will say, and I don't know if this is further down, and maybe I need to wait.
No. Let's do this, then. Yeah.
But I will say so exactly that was my mindset when I first went in. And so then, and then I went in hardcore, like, oh, nobody's going to make me feel bad, that kind of thing. And I just did, you know what I mean? Like, like fast and hard and all this stuff. But then there comes a moment. There's always going to be a moment. It doesn't matter. If you're a mother, there's going to be a moment where there's there's a realization that, wait, I actually don't want to sacrifice everything. I actually don't. And that means that I'm going to have to pivot. I'm going to have to make this look different. It might be okay, for, someone down here that maybe doesn't have children yet or isn't married yet, but something inside of you doesn't want to miss all the things. And so that I came to a place of that. And that was difficult because it was a reckoning with yourself, right? Like, okay, I don't feel guilty. This isn't mom guilt, but I am feeling this for a reason, right? Emotions are, they're indicators, not dictators, but they are indicators that something's not right. Something's not right. And so I did have to get to a point and sit myself down and begin to create boundaries. And I had to start even rearranging the way that I planned my days. And I know that's probably not what we're talking about right now, but some changes had to happen for me to be able to continue to be successful happily.
Yeah.
And for my family to feel that they were getting the best of me and not the rest of me. Does that make sense?
Damn, I don't have a pen and a paper to write all this stuff down. I think we're gonna have to figure out how to get all you ladies together again, and maybe you
Let's
all
do
write
it.
a book.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Write a book.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
New York Times
Chills.
That'd be fair.
chapters. I think I've asked everybody, what were the toughest part. I want to go ahead and pivot to this next thing because with you being so inspirational, I just have a feeling, and for some of you, I've seen it. What do you do to help other mompreneurs? Because I could see somebody sitting there looking at each one of you going, I want to do this. I see, hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on? That's what being a mom
What
is all
a
about,
handsome
right?
fella.
I was just going,
And I think that's such an important part. I'm going to pivot here for just a second before we get to that. Being able to embrace that part that, yes, you're here and working, you're talking about your business, but it's like when somebody says, I don't see color, right? And I'm standing right in front of them as a Latino, and you say, I don't see color. And I know you're doing that, but not recognizing that you're a mom. You're a mother. So your children being in there and all kinds of stuff going on. If there was chaos going on in the background, as an individual who has invited you onto this platform, I need to know and understand and see and accept all of it. And if I'm saying, oh man, you got to get the kid out, I'm not accepting all of it. And
we appreciate that realness.
That's a big
keep it real, Dave. Keep it real. That's true.
That's a big part of, I think, what makes each one of you so successful, that you embrace every part of your life, and you surround yourself with people that are going to embrace every part of your life.
That's right.
And if they're not going to embrace every part of your life, then they need to get to stepping, right? Because that's not
pretty much.
It's true. And I think that all of us have probably fallen in love with what we do and that's a big, part of it, that motherhood is celebrated in our workspace, where the majority of corporate America, that is not so. That is not so. And I know that's a touchy subject, but the truth of the matter is that's why you get a short amount of maternity leave, unless you work great. And I do know, like my sister-in-laws, they work for rock star companies that they're like, 6 months with your baby. That's amazing, right? Or they have facilities in the campus of where they work, which is incredible for nursing moms, right? But the majority of corporate America does not celebrate motherhood. As a matter of fact, they see it as a detriment. They see it as a burden, and they see it somehow as you can't do a job well for whatever reason.
It's the primary reason that I became a stay-at-home mom. Chad literally thought I was going to have a mental breakdown coming home every day. I can't pump it well. You need to see somebody? And I was like, I just want to be home.
It's tough. I mean, it's tough being a working mom. I work full time, and then I come home. I'm a mother full time, and then I run my side business on the side, and it's a lot. But then if I was to quit my job, of course, there's always that judgmentalness of, why are you quitting a job? Why are you being a stay-at-home mother? Or why are you doing this? Or just a lot of, negative towards being a mom and working at the same time. Or if you are home and you're on the weekend, you're like, well, why aren't you spending time with your children? And why are you going shopping? Or why are you going on a date with your husband? Or why this, why that? And it's like
a constant.
Let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let it all go.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Tough. So I want to pivot back, because actually all of you in answering that question kind of answered this one. How do you help other mompreneurs with your actions every day is one thing that I've noticed. But can each of you maybe add on a little bit? Are there specific things that you do to try to help mompreneurs specifically? And I'll just leave it open to whoever wants to answer first.
I'll say, or you can, Lindsay.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we compress time. I've been doing this a while now, and we've kind of got it really figured out. It's really streamlined, and trying to help other people find success faster than you did, more efficiently. And, I'm very encouraging as far as balance goes. I mean, we're kind of talking about that. So, meeting people where they're at and helping them stretch a little bit, but not to the point of this is too much. And being able to help them efficiently work their business in the times that they have allotted. I think people are pleasantly surprised in what they're able to do, 20 to 30 minutes a day versus when I started, I think I put a lot more time than that into it. So helping them compress time to find success faster.
Yep.
Okay.
I think sorry, go ahead, Lindsay. You were next.
You're fine. It's okay. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I am completely vulnerable. I feel like that's how I open book. Yes, today I'm a hot mess. I might get on the computer with another teammate or another girlfriend and say, yeah, the kids were screaming. You're going to hear them in the background. I haven't done anything. I haven't brushed my hair, but yes, I'm going to go live, and yes, I'm going to talk about these products, or yes, I'm going to share some information about what ingredients you should be looking for. being positive, but also being vulnerable. Like one girlfriend recently told me, she's like, your Facebook always looks like you have it so together. And I'm like, let me post that laundry pile that's been on. Okay, so it's not all peachy over here.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, learning from your own experiences and trying to help other moms from what you've been through and finding that balance. And, I saw Kathy mention, like, when you're in the bathroom or you're messaging or you're standing in line somewhere waiting to check out and you're 6 feet apart now, and, or you have that quick minute break at, lunchtime or 15 minutes, during the day just to do something. You're helping other moms and learning from your experiences, and all about the balance of trying to manage life and family and working at the same time. So learning and helping out with other moms, and also supporting other moms and buying and supporting their compmpanies. So,
Absolutely. I think I buy from every single one of your companies. So. Yes.
So for me, so at this stage of the game, that's my job, is to help other mompreneurs, right? And I love to do it even if they're not with my specific company, right? Whatever's worked for me to this point. And I think one of the things, so first of all, is really helping them, because I think what happens is when you become a mom and a wife, you really want to do a good job of wifing and momming and doing all the things, right? And so then I think sometimes you can forget that you actually are this amazing, strong powerhouse that was just hidden for a little while, that maybe forgot that she was this powerhouse. And so I feel like the first thing that I have to do every time is remind that woman what a powerhouse she is. And then let her, right, guys? Like, because you have to remember that you've got some badassery in there. Come on. You have some. And so I have to kind of call it up and call it out, right? And so I let her borrow that courage from me and words from me of encouragement until she has it for herself. And then when she has it for herself, then we can talk about all these other things. But I think most of the time, like, even like I said, women who aren't in my, with my company, even them, I'm just like, I just want to encourage the heck out of them. Like, just go out and do the thing. And then I show them how to fit this into their, into their lives. And I say, fit this into their lives. Hear that. Fit this into their lives, and not fit life into their work schedule. That is wrong. And it will go up in flames if that's how you're running it. So fitting this into their lives, and prioritizing what's important, and not losing sight of that.
Okay. I want to shift and start talking about the blending of life and business a little bit. And this came to mind, Cindy. I thought about you because I remember that first weekend I was in Charlotte, and Jamie and I were getting ready to go hang out, right? So as soon as we get into town, here go the guys, right? We're running out. We're going to go get dinner. We're going to the bar. We're going to go hang out. And you had a powerhouse of women at the house. I think a couple of them had brought their kids.
Yeah.
So the moms were sitting there. It was like a brain trust, right? And the kids are over there playing, but you brought the two aspects together. And I remember as we were leaving, I turned to Jamie and I was like, yo, is this cool? You know what I mean? Is this going to be okay? Because there's like kids and stuff at the house, and she's trying to do her thing. And he's like, oh, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. We can. And I was like, okay, all right. So I get in the car, and the whole time I'm like, man, I hope this is okay. And not like I'm being used as an excuse to get out, and he should have been there, right? So one of the things I want to ask you is, how often do you find yourselves blending your personal life with your entrepreneurial life? And what do you do to try to keep those things in harmony?
Me?
Anyone. Yeah,
okay.
Anyone. So we can start with you, Sin, and then I'll kind of work my way around.
Sure. So I will tell you that I used to do that a lot. I used to blend my life with my businesses a lot, and I used to let them overlap a lot. I came to understand that for me, this is for me, what the way that I want to be in my home, that didn't work. Yeah, there are some things that are just gonna happen, but I think for the most part, I had to take a step back and set some very clear boundaries of what's my personal time with my family and what's my working time. Because back when that was about 2 years ago, and I was started, and it was those were some powerhouses at my dining room table right there. But because you don't know better, right? So you do as much as you can until you know better, and then you do better.
You do better.
So then I realized, okay, if I'm feeling that I'm not giving my family my best, my first and my best, they've got to be feeling that. And here's the thing, they wouldn't say that, but that's what I was in. Something was happening in me that was saying, hey, something's out of order. So I just pivoted and I set some very clear boundaries, and I think we have a much better, work, family, life, cohesiveness running right now. Does that make sense?
No, it does. It absolutely does. Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and add anything to that?
Sure. So, what I found out when I was working at this one particular job, I was working constantly. I had a work phone that I was always on when I got home from work, 24/7, getting calls in the middle of the night. When I was home, I was working and I wasn't focusing on my child. And I was losing time with him because he's getting older. I mean, he's 4 now, but I realized that I had to set boundaries for myself, that when I got home after working an 8 to 9 job or 9 to 5 job, that, I need to come home, focus on him. And I decided, instead of having my phone on ring, it was on vibrate and it was on silent and it was put away in my purse, and I wouldn't get it out until he went to bed. And I was like, I can't do this. And then, it's also jeopardizing time with my husband too. So, you have to find that balance that works for your family, so that doesn't impact your relationship with family or friends, but you're still not jeopardizing your job that seems to be needed at the time. You don't want to, burn any bridges, but, you have to find that boundary. And then I found another job, obviously, after 6 years working there, but, and then working my side business, which has gotten a lot easier because that stepping stone that I had 6 years ago has helped me shape my life and my family life that I needed now to this day. So it definitely takes challenges and learning from experience to get to where you are now, to what you want to be, and then helping others as well to kind of say, this is what I experienced and this is how, maybe you could do little steps to help out get to where you want to, so it's not overbearing and time sensitive and spending too much time working when you should be with your family. So having that boundary of the mom and work life.
All right. Josiah?
I actually am kind of the opposite. Like, I blend them together as much as possible. The girls are at an age where they want to be involved in all of it. They want to do a face mask and they want to play. Sure, let's do a video. Avon's kind of over it, but when I first started, he would say, I got an idea for a video. And he's the one who taught me how to TikTok. And so as much as it allows in my day to it's our creative brainstorm, or sometimes it's fun time for us. And it just happens to be something that works for the business. I can post this, or I can talk about this, or things I encounter throughout the day. Why we don't use a certain hand sanitizer, or, so a lot of the times I am trying to incorporate them together. I feel like the more that I try to not is when chaos happens, and they knock over the camera 4 times, or they interrupt sometimes. It's a bad episode of all the things that could go wrong. So for me, we're at an age where it works that I like to throw them in a video or have them help me.
I was about to say kids could be very influential because Elin convinced us to do the mask and start Mary Kay facials and all that stuff. When we were at the house, actually we did the facials in Final Four, I think is what we were doing it during basketball. Jenny, as far as the blending of the business and the home life?
I do a little bit of both. So I think I've gotten a lot better at this. It's still definitely something I'm learning to balance. I think every level has different devils, if that's a good way to put it. You know, at this point, yeah, we're running a multi-million-dollar business and it's wild. And I think the more communication there is with your family, you know, what the expectations are and just learning to set boundaries. I mean, I'm definitely still growing, but I think, you know, my goal is to kind of figure it out so that as my organization grows to have the same size organization that I have right now, they're not experiencing those challenges because I've kind of laid the groundwork for them. So, but really I preach, you know, be present where your feet are. And I think that removes some of the mom guilt. If you're, you know, if you set aside some time to get some work done, get that work done. And then when you go outside and jump on the trampoline, you're focused there. You're not like, oh, where's my phone? You know? And I love, Lindsay said, you know, the vibrate on the phone, like that helps. I think I haven't been doing the best job of it recently, but I'm going to start wearing my Apple Watch again so that, you know, I'm not picking up my phone. I don't want my kids to remember their mom holding their phone all the time. So having my watch that can, you know, pop up and I can choose to check it or not, but at least I see if there's like an emergency with one of the other kids or something. But just kind of, you know, making sure everybody's on the same page. And I love getting my kids involved for certain things. They love making videos. They love talking about the products because they've all had personal results with them. And I don't know, I think just because the culture of our company is very family oriented. So we have a lot of men and women that work our business. So there are a lot of men involved. And I think that kind of helps with the support of the family. My husband and I kind of do this together. Obviously I'm spearheading it, but so yeah, I do a bit of both, but I just say anybody watching, you know, try to be present where your feet are as you're growing your business. You know, when you set aside that time, do what you can. So it removes that guilt and you don't feel like you should be working when you're with your family and vice versa.
Exactly.
So we've come to the end of the hour. Yeah, we've cut, and time has flown by. I've really enjoyed this. This has been great.
For 30 more minutes. That's right.
What I want to do is give each of you an opportunity to kind of give your final thoughts in about a minute. Just your final thoughts on the topic of being a mompreneur. So we will start with Lindsay. Final thoughts from you. I know I just put you on the spot, right? Just like back in the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, first off, thank you for having me on the show. It's been great. It's been fun. And hopefully we can do this again soon. But, you know, moms keep at it. It's, you know, it's tough. It's going to be challenging. You know, just keep at it and you'll find your niche. And if anyone's interested in trying rodent and fields, you know, feel free to reach out to me and love to connect you and get to know you and help you out and help your family out. So
cool. Josiah, final thoughts from you?
I think if you're considering any sort of business as a woman, do it. Like if there's even just a little tiny fire, like that was my biggest regret is not jumping in sooner, letting that fire like just sit in there. I think it can grow you so much. I've learned so much. I feel like it's been a creative outlet for me. It's something that's kind of also my own. I know I talked about how I incorporate it with my family, but it gives me the opportunity to go out and meet other women and socialize and have that little bit of like, I'm not just stuck here at home with these kids all the time. Like it's for me. And so I think it can be for you too, if you're even considering it. So whatever the field may be in, I say, jump, go in, go big, go all in.
So one of the things I want to add, one of the comments that came up, put the websites on your page. David, please, I will definitely get all the information from all of our mompreneurs and post it on my fan page of Roll the Dice with Dave, just so anybody who comes across the page can definitely see your information. Jenny, final thoughts?
Thanks, first off, for having us. We so appreciate it. This has been really fun. I would love to connect with you guys after this. It's been really nice to meet you guys. And just what Josiah said, you know, go for it. If that entrepreneurial spirit is in you, go for it, try it. We don't get these chances sometimes, again. So just go for it while you can. And, if anybody is looking to feel better, physically, mentally, or, even financially, I encourage you to look us up. It's definitely moving fast. And I love Kathy and Dave have been amazing advocates down in Florida. They're really helping us expand the company. So if you have any questions about incorporating CBD into your lifestyle, it can really be a game changer, especially for you stressed out mamas. So definitely get with them and they can help you. And obviously I'm an open book. So if you have any questions about, either the business or the products, I'm happy to share.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And Cindy, you get the final thought.
Well, I love you.
I love you.
I love this. You have inspired me so much. You have no idea. I watch this and I just sit in awe of you, big brother. Thank you for being such a great leader, number one. And as far as women who might have a tiny spark, I 1,000% agree with Josiah. If there's the tiniest little fire in your belly, jump, go. Surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you and shower blessings on you and help you and come alongside you. And if any one of our companies sounds like something that you might be interested in, please do reach out. I'm sure every single one of us would love the opportunity to mentor you, to bring you to a space where you can have that, freedom of time and finances and just be a community with positive, uplifting, like-minded go-getter women who are powerhouse mamas as well. So that is my thought on Mom-preneurs. I think we rock, and I've said badassery 10 times on this.
I love that word.
Brain full of it.
Actually, I was about to say t-shirts, right? It says Mom-preneurs and then badassery.
Yes.
I
got one.
I want one. So, but I love it. I'm so encouraged by each and every one of you tonight. And thank you for having me on, bro.
Oh, no, the honor and the pleasure was all mine. Thank you all so much for being on. I want to keep you all in the studio as I kind of wrap things up. Usually the guests kind of go into the back studio. I want to keep you on because I think it'd be a disservice to have you just sitting and waiting. You guys have been amazing. So just to let everybody know, we do have a show coming on next week, and I have reached out to the gentleman that hosts Black Men Talk. It is a gentleman I met about 1.5 years ago. They talk about all kinds of issues. We are doing a crossover. I have been on their show, and I reached out to them, asked if they would mind coming and just having a conversation with me, just to address some of the issues that they talk about. And I'm really looking forward to having them on the show next week. I think it's going to be a great show, provide different perspectives. And again, trying to be the change I want to see in the world. So we're embracing a diverse topic, being as inclusive as we can, embracing a different culture and treating everybody equally. And these men do it just as good as anybody. If you want to reach out and connect with me on a different level after the show, please feel free to reach out to @Roll the Dice with Dave on Facebook. You can reach out to my fan page, also my regular profile page, Dave Rivera Jr. Also on Twitter @ElLeonDeFlagler. You can find me on Twitter, and on Instagram, Rivera_D_the_Flagler_Prof. So that wraps up tonight's show. Ladies, again, thank you so much for being on the show. I greatly appreciate you all. And what's your son's name, Jenny?
Mason.
Mason. Hey, I tell you what, thank you for joining us, Mason. We appreciate you. I hope you have a good night. It's good seeing you on the show. Much love to you all, ladies. And thank everyone again for tuning in. Look forward to having you all on the show again. Everybody have a good night.